2 times. You know, he's one of those people that has encouraged me to write, one of those people that has said, Jeff, you can do this, and I've always reciprocated and said, Michaelsun, you can do this. And please, please put your hands together for a warm welcome for Michaelsun Knapp, who is
By a round of R's, how are we feeling tonight?
Ah!
That's what I like to hear.
Why is the rum gone?
Should I drink it? All of it. So, in a roundabout way, I'm going to say all of these are about pirates. Because that, in some way, justifies what I'm wearing. So, I'd like you to think about pirates while I read a poem called The Ghosts of Jiffy Lube. I go to the franchised mechanic a couple blocks away near the mall for an oil change. The whole place smells like one of those, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down toilets. And waiting as patiently in the lobby as I will be are Louis XVI, Sitting Bull, and Edgar Allan Poe. And they've taken the only seats. Sitting Bull and Poe look up and nod at me as I cross the threshold, and the electronic imitation bell, like that, right there. It signals my entrance into this sort of half-heaven. Louis' eyes are on the HD LCD TV mounted on the wall. And that one too. Giving me shit. Like the head of a deer or a buffalo. He's watching the grease monkey under the chassis of his black Lexus like it's a football game or golf or porn. I don't know why. Maybe he doesn't trust him. Maybe he likes him. And Louis did the damage himself on purpose. It's the 21st century. I tip my hat once to all of them. Not really sure what else to do. And find a spot on the wall with the skill of a practiced loiterer. Once I have, the others turn back to what they're doing. Poe, reading a Stephen King novel, making some marks in it. Sitting Bull goes back to tweeting on his smartphone. I stand there for a time, not really sure what to say. Where would I start? How about them Yanks? I got nothing. About 30 minutes later, I've started scribbling in my back pocket notebook. Poe looks up, cocks an eyebrow, shrugs and goes back to his book. And 2 of the mechanics walk through the back. One calls me to the counter. It says Pete on the front of his jumpsuit. And I don't think it's very funny. The other mechanic asks Sitting Bull to come with him, to show Mr. Bull something under the hood of his T-Bird. Pete rings me up, motions with his chin towards the same door Sitting Bull went out. On my way to leave, Louis puts a hand on my arm, and my thought immediately goes back to the grease monkey under his chassis. But his face has this look of forewarning, and he gives me a couple of lines in old French that 2 years of Quebecois I had in high school didn't prepare me for it. But he nods at me when he's done, as though he's told me how to find the woman I'll spend the rest of my life with the first time I'll get married, and how to be a good man, and all in just a few sentences. And then he goes back to watching the TV again. And I leave trying to translate, or at least remember what he said when I duck into my truck and drive off. But I know someday I'll figure it out. And I'm just pretty sure I'm going to have to do it the hard way. This one's called The Ghost of Me. Try to think of me not as self-centered, but just as beautiful. The ghost of me. Driving driving down the street in my father's truck, looking for nothing, and for once just enjoying the drive, when a younger me runs after a girl who's dashed into the street. I slam on the brakes as we lock eyes, me wondering how I could have been so careless as to run into the street like that, and my younger self wondering where Dad is, and why I'm driving his truck, and whose handprints are there on my chest. I call us even, not wanting to answer his questions, and already knowing the answer to any of mine. So, Scott's not here. I think he's over at the art walk with his girlfriend or whatever. Can't get a whore like the rest of us. He's got to have a girlfriend. Going to Cat Island. Alright, so this is one of Scott's favorite poems called Grass Angel. Three women stood talking amongst themselves on the grass outside their classroom. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but as loud as they were, I didn't have much of a choice. I walked past them, past their conversation, but I tipped my hat and nodded to them, because I'm a goddamn gentleman. No one looked up. No one nodded in return or gave me a smile. Not even a, hey, thanks for acknowledging my existence. I acknowledge yours in return. Nothing. Bitches. I left them in the grass, grazing and gossiping. When I heard one say, I'd rather see a man than a woman any day. Without any more context, I turned and raised my arms out above my head as if to say, well then, baby, here I am. And kept walking. Same way I was going, just backwards now. And no one looked up. The cadre of bitches just stood there. As I walked, something caught my ankle, and I fell flat on my ass. Dazed, I laid there splayed out, ignored. Moments passed before I realized what had happened. Are there still kids here?
No.
No?
Yes.
Yes? Yes? Okay. Oh, Jason? Jason, you're still a kid? Alright. At heart. Moments passed before I realized what had happened. Forget it. I thought, I'm making me a grass angel. So, this one, when I read this one, I'm going to break accent. Or not. I'll decide. But this one was inspired by a comic book which was inspired by actual events that happened at Wounded Knee back in the 1970s. FBI.
Go Indians!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, this one's called Occupy Alcatraz.
Yes!
Again. Make your heart beat red again. Let the storm clouds dance and the Mustangs run through your veins when the night winds blow your hope black hair like gun smoke while you stand on Rushmore and scream Hoka-hey until the Black Hills pines echo with 1,000 wounded knees holding 100,000 broken bottles stabbed into the place where their hearts should be, where their veins run yellow with piss-cheap beer. Make Washington cry red. Make him walk until his feet weep like grandmothers burying grandsons. Until his sun-bleached ribs whisper, I can't hear the buffalo. Until his three-buttoned disciples cough up white lumps of guilt. Until their hearts beat, today is a good day to die. And in the vein of poems from Michael Torres, I've got one here. Michael Torres is dead. It's for Michael Torres. Michael Torres died in a game of Russian roulette while Twist and Shout played on the radio. Some say it's the way he would have wanted to go. Some say that his ghost can still be seen in the dim lights of Pomona, where the smell of brownie a la mode wafts along Mission, along Town, along Locust, along drugstore aisles and bedroom hallways. There are those who say his poems can still be heard on the wind, of memory blowing through car windows, of backroom stalkers, racing the sunrise and hangovers on Saturdays, when the tubas play and aunties dance in burgundy dreams. You can feel him standing with you, some of them tell me, with a hand on your shoulder, telling you it'll be all right. When you're handed adulthood and the choices of grown-ups and are given to those who aren't sure they're ready yet. That he's still here with us. That even though he's buried under 9 feet of poems and 6 feet of earth, that he's still writing, still writing, still writing. This one's called If Crime Doesn't Pay, Sandwiches Will. And it's dedicated to a woman who used to work at Quizno's, but it's closed down now. So, there are 2 reasons I know of why most people who are missing fingers lost them in the first place. Either they're a great carpenter, but lost the digit to a saw blade while they were distracted. Or a Yakuza. Actually, we've got some in the crowd tonight. Alright. Or a Yakuza who failed their oibon and had the extremity cut off to teach them a lesson. So, when the woman at Quizno's handed me my 2 salmons in their brown bag, and I noticed she only had 1 knuckle per finger, my immediate thought was she had to be the world's greatest woodworker.
Yes.
Right? I'm glad I'm not the only one. But, then it occurs to me, why then was she working the register at a sandwich joint? So, the only logical explanation then is at one point, she was just a really bad gangster. Since I'm just as a pirate and I've finished 2 of the 32-ounce beers, I figure this one's a little apropos. It's called Drunk Dialing God. I wonder if anyone has ever drunk dialed God and he let the phone ring. I wonder if anyone has ever drunk dialed God, meaning to call an ex at 2:15 in the morning, meaning to tell them and trying to articulate through the booze that even though all this time has passed, and even though they've seen and have really seen others, that they are the ones they still wake up thinking about and go to sleep regretting. I wonder if God answers, sounding like the ex, and tries to console them, or to convince them to direct their attention elsewhere, to take home the girl holding her heels in her hands, who stumbles like she's imagining herself tightrope walking, to gentlemanly take her to her house safely. And when she kisses you on the cheek, aiming for your lips. I see some of us have been. Come see me after the show. And when she kisses you on the cheek, aiming for your lips, you smile. And when she invites you inside, that you acquiesce, knowing that the liquor is talking now. But in the morning, if she's wrapped her fingers around yours like a half dozen rings, that it was right. And everything else will be too. Or if God redirects the call to a man whose house is empty, save for a stiff wooden chair. I see some of us have been there too. Come see me after the show.
He wants to.
Save for a stiff wooden chair and a rope tossed over a crossbeam. And the phone he thought he disconnected rings. And when he answers, he decides to put on his only leather jacket and braves the chill to come find you, to take you to his house, give you glasses of water to ease the hangover that will come. And when you fall asleep, holding his toilet like a lover, he will drape his jacket over you as if it were a blanket, put his rope away, and call a man about a table for the chair and a mattress for his back. I wonder if anyone has ever drunk dialed God and he was able to just let the phone ring. Thank you all! You're a beautiful bunch of pirates!
They're Irish. God, we had a fucking pirate up here.